My name is Paul Sieczkowski. For our final days of Terra-1 project, I did a little bit of the programming and I also worked on the GUI designing.
Hello, I am Bryce Hui, the programmer of the final day on Terra-1. This is my first project in game development, and I'm kind of happy at how it turned out. I did most of the programming in the project.
Hi, so my name is Yiorgos Bereveskos, and my contributions to Final Days of Terra 1 involved the modeling of the assets, texturing of the assets, and the placement of them in the level. I also worked on some lighting and visual effects. Thank you.
So you can see here's our block out. This is not what I've created, but this is just showing our level, what Bryce did with the AI and Yiorgos did with the block out. But specifically, I worked on the projectiles, so that's a little loud. Projectiles, you can see the cool blue bullet. It's not like your typical default yellow ball. Looks more like a normal actual bullet. As you can see, the trail behind it as well. Those particles like trailing and following it. I did have a lot of trouble with it locating the center of the crosshair there in the middle of the screen, but I just had to play with the camera and the way that the gun offset was set up by default. Also, there's a little bit of impulse for a physics object, so not sure if we're gonna add that to the robots, but that's something we could think about doing. I also worked on these crystals, the movement at least. I didn't do the design, but I did the movement and the cool beams. If you can locate them by looking at the beams, if you're farther away, easier to see them. You have to probably collect around 6, we're thinking, throughout this whole map to progress throughout the game. So haven't been able to collect them yet. You can't like run into them and collect them. There's no UI set up for that yet, but just the movement and the beam, the projectile, also the HUD in the bottom right hand corner. You can see the health bar. I just put an overlay over the cool progress bar there, so that'll go up and down depending on what these AIs are able to deal damage to you. And now let's take a look at other couple other things I did. So game over and start screens. This hasn't been implemented yet because we haven't set it up so that the robots can actually kill you yet, but this would show up if that happens. So simple restart and quit buttons. Also, the main issues I've been struggling with recently have been working with the start screen. So let's just jump right in. So Final Days of Terra-1, that's the name of our game. And there's a simple start and quit button. Quit seems to be working just fine, but the problems I'm having are dealing with the start button. You see, you click it, nothing happens. So not really sure what's happening with that, but as you can see, clicked quit button, quit, that's totally normal. But open level is what you need for starting the using a start button, start game, and I've been inputting the name of the level correctly, and everything seems to be fine there. It's just not opening for whatever reason. But other than that, I've been pretty happy with how everything else has been turning out. Projectiles, the crystals, the beams, and the HUDs with the start screen, quit, and the health bar. So overall, that's my progress so far in our project. Thanks for watching. Take care.
And for me, my largest struggles was actually getting to AI to work and how to do the behavior trees, since I never done anything like this before. And of course, my biggest triumph was actually completing the AI and actually modifying the code to make sure that it works as our enemy character. I did most of the programming in our project, and Paul did a little bit of the programming as well. So I am very content on how this whole project turned out to be.
Hello, my name is Yiorgos Bereveskos, and these are my contributions to the final days of Terra 1. I was mainly involved in the modeling of the assets within this game. So here's some examples of what I made. This is the bridge in the game that you cross. And then these are basically just the skyscrapers that you see. So yeah, they're kind of modular, so it allowed us to place them across the map very easily. As you can see in the game, you see basically done by city blocks. Then this right here is just some of the things you encounter while playing. This is just a tank. You can't actually get in or drive it. It's just to add something to the environment. This is the transporter that you find at the end of the game. It's basically the thing that triggers the victory if you get there. These are the robot enemies you fight. The boss is slightly different. It's got kind of this scorpion gun coming out of its back. This is the mothership, the alien mothership that just hangs in the air above you. Doesn't really do anything. It's just there to kind of add effect to depth to the environment. Then this is just more kind of environment building. These are the cars that you can run into. They're very simple design. They're just meant to be kind of futuristic taxi cab, self-driving. And then these are the crystals that you have to collect throughout the game in order to regain health and activate the portal at the end of the game. So one of the challenges I kind of ran into when kind of putting this all together within the level is Unreal kept deleting the stuff that I put in, so it took me a couple attempts to get it all in and for Unreal to actually save it. So that was kind of frustrating because a couple hours of work kind of wasted, so that was discouraging, but in the end I was able to get it done. So the other thing I was involved with was the texturing. So down here are the different textures I made. Most of them were just taking Unreal starter content textures and just kind of messing around with them to give the effects that I wanted them to have, like the glowing towers and the pulsating red tech panels. I was also involved with the lighting of this scene, so kind of the orange sky, the fog that kind of, yeah, the fog that hides the incomplete map because you can't actually go over there. And then I was also involved with a level layout, so where the player goes and what they can do. For example, this kind of art display in the center of the city, fountain I guess, I made that, and you have to climb up these rings. They're all interconnected. You have to climb up them to get the top of it so you can jump off and get the crystal that sits right here. So yeah, just the basic level layout. I did a decent amount of work laying that out. Yeah. So yeah, those were the majority of my contributions to Final Days of Terra-1. Thank you.
We now thank you all for watching this video. We had a blast making this Final Days of Terra-1 project together. We learned a lot through this whole process of game development. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of teamwork and communication, but overall, we believe that this was a pretty successful project, so thank you for watching.